How can I use generosity to build my startup team? Generosity is your secret weapon as a startup CEO if you want to build a great startup team. Generosity directly impacts the motivation of your team. The more motivated your team is, the more likely your company will be successful. In today's video, I'll share with you 5 ways you can use generosity to build a great startup team that will propel your company to success. I hope you like it. Hi, I'm Brett. On my channel, I help early stage startup CEOs like you raise money and grow your startup. So if this sounds like you, then hit the subscribe button and the bell so you get notified every time I release a new video. Let's get started. And let's start with number 1 on our list. Number 1, be generous with equity. One of the first tests of your leadership skills as a CEO is how much equity you will give your co-founders and then your employees. My recommendation is to be generous with how many stock options you give each member of your team. Now, I'm not saying you should go crazy and give amounts way above the norm to your team. I am saying you should do your research and not be stingy about how much equity and stock you will give your team. For example, let's say you have one co-founder, just one co-founder. The company was your idea and the strategy was your idea too. You sit down with your co-founder about the equity split between the two of you. And you think that an 80-20 split is fair, with obviously 80% going to you. Your co-founder is visibly upset and says a 50% split seems fair. Now you have a problem on your hands. However, you're smart and you quickly apologize and adjust your stance. You and your co-founder agree that a 55%, 45% split of the equity is fair. Here's the thing to remember about equity as a startup CEO. You're either going to win big and make a lot of money, or you're going to just make a salary. And giving more equity to your co-founder will improve the motivation of your co-founder and therefore improve the odds of success. Now, do this across the board with the rest of your team, and your odds of success continue to go way up. Now let's move on to number 2 on our list. Number 2, be generous with giving credit to your team. If I was to give just one piece of advice to a new CEO, I would say give all the credit to your team for each success your company has. And you should take all the blame for every failure your company has. The reason this is a smart way to go is, as CEO, you're going to get the credit for your success anyways. So why not be public with giving the success to your team? They will appreciate it because it feels good to be recognized for doing good work. Conversely, it builds loyalty when you take the arrows for your team publicly when a mistake is made. They know you're not going to throw them under the bus. Now, I'm not saying you should ignore poor performance. On the contrary, I am saying that you should deal with poor performance behind closed doors, not publicly. No one likes getting chastised publicly, so just don't do it. Next on the list is number 3. Number 3, be generous with delegation. I don't know where I learned it, but I was taught to delegate as much as possible to any team I managed as quickly as I could. This is a great skill to learn as a CEO. I'll give you 2 great reasons why delegation is so powerful. First, the more you delegate to your team, the more you are free to do the things that only you can do. And there's no shortage of things that you can do as CEO. So, you want to work on the most important things. As your company grows, you want to be working on the things that only you can do. Second, Delegating to your team by transferring responsibility for as many tasks as you can down in the organization prepares your team to take on more responsibility as your company grows. So, you're building the future leaders of your company by being generous and delegating down in the organization. By the way, delegating down in the organization needs to be practiced by every manager in the company, not just you. Next, we're on to number 4 on our list. Number 4, be generous with healthcare. Compensation doesn't end with equity and salary. Healthcare and other benefits like vacation are key retention tools, especially in the United States. So be generous with the healthcare and benefits you provide your team. Remember, it's not just the employee that looks at benefits. It's their spouse too. One of the smartest things we did at my company was benchmark our healthcare plan versus the public companies we were competing against. We wanted to be at least at parity with the best companies in our industry, since we were recruiting engineers from these companies. In many cases, our benefits package helped convince a potential employee to join our company. Finally, we're on to the final one on our list. Number 5, be generous with advice. From your co-founder that wants to be CEO of their own company one day, to the new college graduate you just hired, be generous with your advice. A major part of your role as startup CEO is coaching and teaching your team. I had weekly one-on-ones with every direct report I had. I broke the meeting up into 2 parts. The first part of our one-on-one meeting, the direct report could ask me anything that they wanted. The second part of our one-on-one meeting, I gave them advice and guidance on how they could improve and reach their long-term goals. You never want there to be any doubt about where an employee stands, and giving continuous feedback is a great way to do this. Then I suggest you utilize the old Hewlett-Packard concept of management by walking around. In other words, don't just sit in your office. Walk around your facility and get to know your team. Build rapport with your team. Learn about their challenges and goals. Your team will appreciate your desire to learn about them, and they will feel more connected to the company. Now, if this content is resonating with you, then please hit the like button right now. One final thought. Be generous with sharing information. Your team wants to know how your company is doing. So be generous and share as much information as you can with them. And I don't just mean the positive information. I do mean share the negative information with them too. I know. You're worried that you run the risk of the information leaking, and you run the risk of your team quitting. I used to feel the same way, especially when I was younger. However, I've learned that the downside risks are minimal. The upside of being generous with the information you give your team is that you build loyalty for the many times you'll need your team to step up when there is a major problem. That's the big payoff of being generous. Now, what did you learn from today's video? Put your answer in the comments column below today's video. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments column too, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. Now, I have one more thing for you today. It's my free startup pitch deck template. It has all the slides you need to develop an awesome pitch deck. Click the link below today's video, and it's yours for free. And if you haven't already, then please join my free group of startup CEOs called Zero to Pitch. It's a community for startup CEOs focusing on growing their early stage startups and startup CEOs raising money for their early stage startups. Click the link below this video to join. Finally, click the subscribe button to get notified every time I release a new video. I'm Brett at brettjfox.com. Thanks for watching today. Take care. Bye.